Welcome back to the Stretford End, everyone. Here we are again with a beautiful win, much needed win. A results game is what they call football. And we won 2-0 against Brighton last night in the Premier League. And it was a very, very strange performance, if I have to put it that way. We got the result in the end, but we definitely had to work for it. It became, a hard-fought win at the end of the day. Yes, later on we saw Lewis Dunk getting a red card, for fouling Anthony Elanga, who was one-on-one, in on goal with Sanchez. However, before that, in the second half, we seemed to control the game. But I want to take this video step by step, and I want to, just assess exactly where we are right now ahead of the game against Leeds. It was quite strange, first of all. As I said, I didn't want Harry Maguire to start. I wanted him to be dropped. I think 90% even more, of the United fan base wanted him to be dropped. And it was for the obvious reasons of him having inconsistent performances. And again, tonight, last night, he was okay. He wasn't decent, he wasn't good, he wasn't great. He was okay. He done what he needed to do, got the ball out, in terms of the heading, which is basically, his strengths. But again, there were various moments where we were shaky, we were worried. We did seem to have a sense of, fear in us, especially in the first half where we were absolutely abysmal. Brighton had the chances to score, Basuma hitting it wide, Moder getting a wonderful and throwing a wonderful save from David De Gea. Once again, De Gea showing his class, why he was player of the month for January. And, hopefully he can continue his form, because it was because of him that we have a clean sheet. And of course, it was because of the Iceman. Lindelof coming in for a ill Varane, who, fell ill before the game. And he came in and done well. The last time we saw him play, he was, one of the better centre backs alongside Varane. Hence the reason why I wanted Varane and Lindelof to start last night. But it seems that if Varane would not be able to recover from this illness before Sunday, we probably would see Maguire and Lindelof again. And hopefully, they can produce a clean sheet like they have last night against Brighton. It was quite difficult, for us to actually go forward because we seem to have too many space in midfield. Again, McTominay and Fred were not the best midfield combination we have. Basuma and McAllister doing what they do best. Basuma showing McTominay and Fred how to be a defensive midfielder, controlling the game, breaking from midfield, making runs beyond his own striker, so that he can provide that extra option in attack, that extra option in the box. And it nearly paid off. Poor Graham Potter was probably wondering what is his team doing wrong, because they basically had us in a corner like a boxing match where we were literally in the corner receiving every single blow. We were too slow for the 50-50s. We couldn't get out. Our passes were abysmal. Too many times where we looked very disjointed. I said on Twitter that, a very, very disjointed first half that we had. It seems like everybody wanted to be a hero, defensively, but also going forward. And in terms of going forward in the first half, we had chances. Ronaldo slipping in Sancho, and Sancho rather choosing to shoot rather than play in Ronaldo, Bruno, and Elanga, who was in the box. Various choices not being made, Ronaldo making runs, and of course we know the inabilities of Freddie McTominay to find him when he makes those runs. And that was evident when Pogba came on. We started having a bit more control in midfield. Pogba spraying the passes that he needed to spray. Pogba doing what he needed to do, And still on the first half, it seems that we completely didn't know what to do. We were so afraid of going forward that we would leave ourselves exposed at the back. And that was kind of difficult to take because it's not what you expect from a team playing at home. It's not what you expect with the players on the pitch currently that, we have starting. And even though we had players like Rashford dropped, we still had the likes of McTominay starting, Maguire starting, Luke Shaw having a decent game, I guess. Not, very, very eye-catching. We know he could have done better. We know that he can do better, but it seems like he's a bit lazy. Various moments where Sancho, rushed back to get into a defensive position, but when the ball is on the opposite side of the field, he just chooses to walk, and this causes a bit of a gap in the defensive area when we are defending. Various moments, as I've said before, where Basuma got in as an extra man, completely leaving Shaw, wondering where the hell he is. Various moments where Maguire runs right past McTominay to go and close someone down, and McTominay just then decides to run back, but he doesn't even get there with urgency. I mean, how is it possible that he decides to have someone like Maguire come right past him, past his midfield position, to tackle someone and close them down, but then he himself, McTominay, just stands there and waits as if something's going to happen when it comes to him. He doesn't avail himself of the ball. When he does get the ball, he plays a simple 5-meter pass. When he chooses to make a long-range pass, it's bad. It's too hard. It's too soft. The accuracy is off. And, this is very, very evident, especially when Pogba came on. When Pogba came on in the second half, it literally helped us going forward. We seemed a bit more as an attacking threat. We seemed to have control in midfield. Pogba was holding onto the ball, spraying those passes. And this is basically evident because Ronaldo started making movements and he trusted Pogba to get the ball into him in behind. Other players such as Sancho and Ilanga trusted him to get the ball in behind. And, in the second half, I'm sure halftime, Ragnick basically told the team, we need to press them more, we need to be higher up the pitch, we need to ensure that we close them down, we need to ensure that they don't get breathing space to play or to run through us, which they had in the first half so easily because of the factor of Freddie McTominay not being in the correct defensive position or their midfield position for that matter. And, this was evident to see when McTominay, was taken off. Pogba came on, Rashford was brought on and done absolutely nothing. Again, I think Rashford is having problems. Not to mention Mason Greenwood again, but everybody spoke about his bad performances before, the whole incident that he has currently going on. But Rashford has been performing badly since he came back, and nobody speaks about him. He's too protected. Nobody can criticize him on his performances. None of the journalists after the game ask, but what is going on with Rashford? And that is very concerning, and it shows the English and media bias that goes on in the UK and how these English players are protected from criticism, whether it be bad or good. And it is frustrating to see that he cannot even seem to have a cameo performance when he comes on. Yes, he scored the winner for us against West Ham, blah, blah, blah. But how long ago was that? How long ago was that one brilliant moment that he had? Even after that moment in the very next game, he was abysmal. And he's been starting. And even after being dropped, he still hasn't done what he needed to do and came on and being that player that we know that he can be. But like I said, a very, very, strange performance. But we take it. We take the positives out of it. We had to work for it. We had to work hard for it. The red card definitely helped us, allowed us to have a better control of the game because they had 10 men. But even in so doing, Brighton still had various moments where they could have scored, and the gear again once doing what he does best for us. But we took the points. Bruno and Ronaldo putting the ball in the net as they should. Ronaldo doing what he does best, driving back, the Brighton defense. One touch, shooting, no chance for Sanchez. Brilliant goal. The GOAT is back. For all of the haters that thought he was off it, that he was past his prime. Yes, he is in his, basically, as they say in football, his old age, but he still has the instincts, as I said before. He still has the natural killer instinct to score, and he still is that fox in the box, as I said in the preview. Go and have a look at that on TikTok if you haven't checked it out yet. And, of course, that will drive him on for the game against Leeds and definitely for the game against Atletico in the Champions League next week. And Bruno, of course, once again, we all were Bruno Fernandes. Every supporter was Bruno Fernandes last night, with the way he scored the goal and with the way he celebrated, a sense of relief, a sense of finally getting that second goal, killing off a team. We should build on this now. We should have a foundation and go from here. As I said before, we'll definitely be speaking about the performance and the build-up to Leeds. But let's take this 3 points, a much-needed result, definitely a dagger to the hearts of Spurs, Wolves, and Arsenal and West Ham, who are chasing the 4th position. Yes, they have games in hand on us, but it's better to have points on the board than games in hand. Thank you very much for joining me today, guys. I trust that you guys are doing well. Drop your comments below on what you think of the performance of last night against Brighton. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can grow our Manchester United community and reach more Manchester United supporters right across the world. Drop a like for the video as well if you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. That is me, Sashin Johnson, from the Stretford end. Goodbye.